The sun was just breaking over the rolling hills of rural Tennessee, casting a warm golden glow across my 10-acre ranch. It was October 15th, 2024, and I savor my morning ritual, a steaming mug of black coffee on the porch, my loyal hound Rusty snoring at my feet, and the kind of silence that only comes from living far from the noise of city life. After 2 decades in the Army, I'd traded barked orders and rigid schedules for this freedom, pure and simple. My nearest neighbor was half a mile away, close enough for emergencies, but far enough that I could tinker with my equipment at midnight without a single complaint. And speaking of equipment, yes, I own a tank. An M113 armored personnel carrier, to be precise, picked up at a military surplus auction 4 years ago. Before you picture me as some paranoid survivalist, let me clarify. This 30-ton beast is the ultimate farm tool. It's hauled stumps, shifted boulders, and cleared land better than any tractor I've ever seen. In rural Tennessee, nobody blinks at this sort of thing. My neighbor, Sam, uses an old HOA helicopter as a shed for his goats, so my tank barely raises an eyebrow. Life was perfect until Vanessa Caldwell rolled into the new Willow Creek Estates, a glossy subdivision that had sprouted up against my property's western edge. I first met her at the rural mailbox hub, where our routes converge. She stepped out a sleek red Ferrari 488, looking like she'd just walked off a fashion runway designer sunglasses, a handbag worth more than my truck, the works. Her eyes flicked to my dusty work boots with a sneer, as if they'd personally insulted her. "You must be the farmer," she said, skipping any hint of a greeting. I corrected her gently, explaining I was a rancher, but she waved me off. Same difference. "I'm Vanessa Caldwell, president of the Willow Creek HOA. We need to discuss your property." The way she said, "your property," dripped with disdain, like she'd stepped in something foul. I should have seen the warning signs or curled lip as she eyed my beat-up Chevy, the way she recoiled when Rusty wagged his tail in her direction, but I was still in my give people a chance mindset. 2 weeks later, a crisp letter appeared on my gate, labeled Notice of Violation. It listed absurd grievances, excessive noise from my equipment, I rarely start before 9 a.m., offensive odors from my organic compost, and my favorite, unsightly machinery visible from the road, meaning my tank parked 200 yards back behind a grove of oaks. I called the HOA office, politely explaining that my land wasn't under their jurisdiction. The nervous receptionist mumbled that MS. Caldwell claimed her authority extended to anything impacting community aesthetics. I requested that in writing, along with legal proof. Instead, I got another letter, this time with fines, $500 for noise, $1,000 for smells, $2,000 for the tank, doubling every 30 days. That night, my phone rang. Vanessa's voice was syrupy but sharp. "I find it easier when people just comply, Nathan. Saves on lawyer fees." I kept my cool, a trick learned from years of dealing with overzealous officers. MS. "Caldwell, my property isn't part of your HOA. You have no right to fine me." Her laugh was like shattering crystal. "Oh, Nathan, you don't get how this works. Your little farm drags down property values. I've had complaints already." She dodged my request for proof, instead recounting her victories over other problem owners, a couple with a mobile home, a guy with vintage cars, a woman with a petting zoo, all forced out by fines, inspections, or anonymous tips. "You'll be next," she purred. "Sell now, or the fines will eat you alive." The line went dead. That was the moment I felt it cold, focused calm from my Army days, the kind that kicks in when someone's trying to trap you. Vanessa saw a retired soldier with a quiet life and thought, easy prey. She had no idea who she was dealing with. I grabbed a notepad and started planning. Document everything, research HOA laws, double-check my property lines, call lawyer friends, install more cameras, and service the tank. That last one brought a grim smile. She thought her wealth and connections made her untouchable, but I'd learned long ago that arrogance breeds mistakes. Her harassment escalated fast. Daily notices appeared on my gate, each more creative than the last. Fines for my barn's unapproved color, for excessive wildlife, the deer that roamed my land, for inadequate landscaping in a region where the earth itself was mostly rock. The fines hit $15,000, and numbers so ridiculous I laughed. But Vanessa wasn't joking. She called county inspectors, alleging everything from unpermitted buildings to hazardous waste. Each visit cleared me, but the time and paperwork painted me as a troublemaker. My cameras caught her red Ferrari creeping past my property, snapping photos. Rusty barked the second he heard that engine. Even he knew a predator when he saw one. Then came a Monday that changed everything. Heavy machinery woke me at dawn, and Rusty's relentless barking told me it wasn't normal. I found a construction crew setting up barriers across my driveway, me only access to the outside world. The foreman showed me a work order for emergency road repairs signed by the HOA. The catch? This wasn't a road. It was my private drive. The company, Caldwell Construction LLC, was owned by Vanessa's cousin. The barriers blocked my main gate, my delivery path, and even a utility easement. This wasn't maintenance. It was a siege. By noon, they'd added cones, a porta-potty, and idle equipment to make it look legit, but the crew just sat in their trucks, paid to do nothing. I called the sheriff, who said it was a civil matter without a court order. My lawyer buddy Mike confirmed it was harassment, but would take time to fight. Document everything, he urged. I did, filming, photographing, even chatting with a worker who admitted he'd been hired in cash to just sit here. That night, Sarah Johnson, a former HOA board member, hiked to my back door with a folder of damning evidence. Vanessa rigged the election, she said over coffee. Fake ballots, bullied board members, done this in 3 other states. The documents showed a pattern, targeting owners, forcing sales, funneling profits to developers. The construction firm, the law firm, sending threats all tied to her family. You still have that thing in your garage, right? Sarah asked, eyes glinting. I nodded. The M113 was ready. She pointed to an HOA bylaw. Emergency access must remain clear. Vanessa's blockade was illegal. I spent the night planning. Mike confirmed Tennessee law backed me. After warnings, owners could remove obstructions with necessary force. Courts had upheld tow trucks and bulldozers. A tank seemed proportional. I texted Vanessa, remove the equipment. I have a delivery Friday. She replied with laughing emojis. Wednesday, I posted written warnings on the barriers, time-stamped. Thursday, I prepped the tank, new fluids, tracks tight, engine roaring to life. Friday dawned crisp and clear. I made coffee, walked Rusty, sent a final warning. Vanessa didn't reply. At 7 a.m., cameras rolling, I called my vet loudly for the audio. Rusty needs his heart meds, but my drive's blocked. Then I heard a Ferrari's roar. Vanessa slid to a stop, phone out, live streaming. Trouble this morning, Nathan, she taunted, playing to her audience. I stayed calm. Move the equipment, MS. Caldwell. This is my drive. She laughed. City equipment, Nathan. Can't touch it. I repeated my request, citing the emergency. She mocked me, parking her Ferrari across the gate for good measure. Sell or lose everything, she spat. I gave my second warning through a speaker, citing state law. Her stream hit 2,000 viewers, eating up her Poor Me act. Third warning, move it or I will. She screamed for her audience. He's threatening me. Then the M113 roared to life, black smoke pouring from the garage. The ground shook as 30 tons of steel rolled forward, olive drab and unstoppable. Vanessa's face cycled through shock, disbelief, then panic as she realized her $500,000 Ferrari was in the way. She sprinted to it, fumbling her keys, dropping them in the dirt. The tank closed in 15 feet, 10-5. She fled, still filming, screaming about assault and terrorism. Her stream hit 25,000 viewers. The Ferrari's bumper cracked like ice, folding under the tracks. The hood crumpled, the windshield shattered. The V12 engine screamed in agony before exploding in a spray of oil and coolant. Wheels popped off, doors twisted, the leather interior compressed to nothing. In 45 seconds, the supercar was a red metal pancake, fluids pooling like abstract art. Silence fell. Vanessa gaped, her stream at 60,000 viewers, chat exploding. I parked the tank, grabbed a broom, and started sweeping debris, Just a guy cleaning his drive. She found her voice. You'll pay $500,000. I replied calmly. You blocked my emergency access. I cleared it per Tennessee law. Sirens approached. 3 deputies arrived, weapons drawn until they saw me sweeping. Vanessa shoved her phone at the sergeant, demanding my arrest. He watched her video, then took my folder deed, noticed his laws. Ma'am, he said, you blocked his drive after warnings. He's within his rights. She screamed about corruption. He suggested a tow truck and insurance, adding, though I doubt they cover this. Then it got better. At an emergency HOA meeting that night, Sarah revealed Vanessa's crimes. $60,000 in misspent dues, fake fines, contracts to cronies. Residents erupted, sharing stories of her tyranny. News clippings exposed her past scams in Georgia, Texas, and Nevada. A no-confidence vote ousted her 72-1. Deputies arrested her for embezzlement as she tried to flee. Her leased Ferrari, mortgaged house, and spent funds left her unable to make bail. She sat in jail 3 days, later spotted in an orange jumpsuit cleaning highways. 6 months later, my ranch is peaceful again. Neighbors join Rusty and me for coffee, and the tank Freedom's Hammer is a local legend. Sarah's reformed HOA refunds fines, bans unilateral penalties. Vanessa's plea deal, 18 months, $90,000 restitution, no more HOAs. Property values soared without her reign. The developers she worked with vanished. So, was I wrong to crush her car? Should I have waited for courts? Did Vanessa deserve it? Or did I go too far? Comment tank if she had it coming. Lawsuit if I'm in trouble. What would you do if someone tried to steal your home? Share below. And if you want to see bullies get what they deserve, like and subscribe for more stories of karma in action.